Chapter 34. Hagar. Genesis 16, 1-16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto him, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarah. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, and it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou, God, seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Beer Lahairoi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. Genesis 16, 1-16. After 10 years in Canaan, Abram and Sarai were still childless. Abram was now 85 years old, and perhaps Sarai had undergone her menopause and so despaired of having a child. As a result, Sarai took the initiative and urged Abram to take her handmaid Hagar to wife as a concubine. A concubine was a wife without a dowry, that is, legal, financial security. We do know that much later some rabbis held that after 10 childless years, a man could take another woman to bear him seed. Perhaps this belief went back to ancient times and was simply reflected by Sarai. We do not know. At least some aspects of what followed had ancient origins and were later used by Leah and Rachel with their handmaids, Bilhah and Zilpah. These two aspects were, first, the power of the wife over her handmaid, and, second, the child born of such a union was legally the child of the wife. Sarai cites this by stating the hope that I may obtain children by her. Verse 3. Such a plan was standard procedure, so that apparently there was a simple agreement on Abram's part. From start to finish, he was passive. It was, in the cultures of the day, an accepted fact. It was not an idea original with Sarai. It was commonplace, as Nutsi tablets have shown. The Code of Hammurabi forbade the handmaid or the slave girl to assert equality with her mistress on pain of reduction to slavery. In this instance, the handmaid, Hagar, was Egyptian, no doubt a gift of Pharaoh, Genesis 12:16. The Egyptians, great and small, were prone to look down on all foreigners, especially people who raised sheep. Hagar's flight was an attempted return to Egypt because her stopping point, Shur, was on the route going south. In verse 4, The meaning in Hebrew is that Hagar conceived at once when Abraham went in unto her, so that it was at once obvious that the failure of Sarai to conceive was not Abraham's lack of fertility. Hagar's reaction was to despise Sarai. In a camp of 2,000 people, there were many women who regularly worked and visited together. There were other Egyptian women who had been given to Abraham by Pharaoh, Genesis 12:16. Hagar's pregnancy by the overlord of all made her not only happy, but also proud and arrogant. We are told, quote, when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes, verse 4. Sarai's reaction was an angry one. She had honored a young slave girl by her own choice, and we can assume that Hagar had up to this point been highly pleasing to her. Twice the word despised is used to describe Hagar's attitude towards Sarai, verses 4 and 5. The Hebrew word kolal means to express contempt. In Genesis 25:34, the same word is used when we are told that Esau despised his birthright. It means treating something or someone deserving respect casually, lightly, and disrespectfully. Hagar obviously assumed that her position was a secure one, and she therefore counted on Abram to be so overjoyed at imminent parenthood that she would be free to act as she pleased towards Sarai. Sarai went to Abram to tell him of the situation without any equivocation, verse 5. Abram at once acknowledged her authority over Hagar, saying, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand, do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face, verse 5. Hagar had obviously expected Abram to side with her. Shocked by Abram's refusal to condone her behaviour, she fled southward towards Egypt. We can safely assume that Hagar was quite young and had been a child when given to Abram 10 years earlier. Her behaviour was immature and unplanned, a hasty and emotional response. At Shur, by a spring, she stopped. The way ahead was a very difficult one, and she was pregnant. It was there that, quote, the angel of the Lord, end quote, God the Son in his pre-incarnation appearance found her and spoke to her. He asked her from whence she came and where she was going. Without making any excuses, she admitted that she was running away from my mistress Sarai, verse 8. By acknowledging Sarai as her mistress and by making no excuses, we see another side of Hagar. The angel of the Lord then commands her, first, return to thy mistress and submit thyself under her hands, verse 9. We know, of course, that she did this, and we know, therefore, that Sarai had not been unwise in choosing Hagar. She was a woman of character. Second, Hagar is told that her seed, like Abraham's, would be multiplied greatly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude, verse 10. This is important because this great blessing is pronounced on Hagar, not here on Ishmael nor on Abram. God honours her specifically, as should we. Third, a prophecy is made concerning her seed. The Lord hath heard thy affliction, so that she, Hagar, is in particular honoured and blessed apart from the blessings on Sarai and Abram. Her son Ishmael, meaning God shall hear, shall flourish, even though he is alone against all, and all against him. Staggers translates the first clause of verse 12, and he shall be a choice man, others a wild man. Hagar then defined God as, Thou, God, seest me, and he recognized that she had seen God briefly and that he was always mindful of her. The name of the well was called after that by her descendants, Bir Lahai Roi, the well of him that liveth and seeth me, verse 14. On her return at some point in time, Hagar bore Abram a son. Clearly, she had shared her vision or theophany with both Abram and Sarai, and Abram therefore called the boy's name Ishmael, verse 15. At this time, Abram was 86 years of age. Properly read, this is a comforting and rewarding episode. God, the creator of all things in heaven and earth, is affectionately mindful of a slave girl named Hagar. Her pride and foolishness are forgiven, and the repentant girl is given a great place in God's history, one not yet over. The human reaction to Hagar would have been to nag her for her sorry reaction to Sarai. God, who loved both Sarai and Hagar, is patient and kindly. This episode tells us much about God. It is sad that too many people want to throw verbal stones at Hagar.